Okay, got some spring brake work done. I've had the ceiling skin on. I've got the two sides on, and I think I've got the ceiling skin about where it needs to be. It's not where it was. Nothing was where it was at this point. So I am getting a little bit creative with some of the restore at this point. Dimensions off just a bit, but I'll use the rot that was in both these front corners, these front wings, as my excuse. Yeah, it's too hard to measure correctly. So things are off a little bit, but I think I can still make it work. But the wrap, when they cut the wrap, they cut it really tight, which is partly why they had leaking problems in here to begin with. They just could not get the waterproofing, especially in the corners, both up top and down on the bottom. So I could order new skins. It was $1,500. I'm not ready to do that. I may do that down the road, but not at this point. But I do need it to be waterproof. I don't want to go through all this work and then have any rain and just be in the same spot I was when I picked up the trailer. So I am trying to do the best I can to jimmy rig and get creative with some waterproofing. So what I've done is I've taken some aluminum. I got an aluminum sheet, cut out about 2-inch wide pieces, and I bent them in a way that they will go over the corner. So this is a bottom corner. There's not too much curvature on it. And then top corner. And you see I had to fillet it there so that I can get it a nice wrap. What I am going to do is I'm going to get the skins down as best as possible. Then I am going to put these on top of the skins with some putty and screw them down on both sides, which is going to be a little interesting because the screw coming in from the outside, it's exposed to water. But if I use a good amount of putty, I think I'll be okay. And I'll have to pre-drill all my holes and just make sure I don't split the frame as I put these new screws in. So I'm going to do that for the corners. I'll probably have to do it for the back corner as well. And for the top, I thought about doing something like this for the top edges up here. But I think that's going to be a little overkill. Instead, what I'll do for those, because the wrap does fold over, just not a lot in some places, and some of the skin is cracked a little bit. I have put some JB Weld and sealed some of it. But what I'll do for the top is I'll use some sealant. Actually, my son used some sealant on his van and I saw it and I'm like, oh, that could actually work really well. So I'll put the J-rails on with the putty underneath, and I will waterproof where the fold comes over. And then on the ceiling, I'll put some of this heavy-duty sealant in between the J-rail and the ceiling panel. I think that'll work. That's what I'm going to try. We'll see. But I need to really just make sure I do a good job with getting it waterproof, because I just don't want to be in the same place. All right, so some of the things I'm doing, I've got the ceiling fan or ceiling vent routed out, and I do have the skin matched up with that. And my vent that I have now, which is not a fan, will fit in there. So this is a 14 by 14 standard hole. I have already run the wiring to put in an electric fan. So if all things go well, I'll pick up an electric fan and put one of those in, but not yet. I gotta do this in stages. I gotta make sure I'm feeling pretty confident about where I'm at and getting this done. So So yeah, just working on the skins and trying to make sure everything's going to be waterproof. So that's my task tomorrow, is to see if I can get the, oh, I also need to screw, I got to drill into the ceiling and mount this. This is the port for the solar panel wires to come in. So it's just a nice way to bring the solar panels wiring in. I'll use some 3M tape to seal that on top of the ceiling. So I'll need to drill the holes tomorrow, get that all set. I've got my solar panels just sitting over there. I actually just picked up some plastic backing for it because these are flexible panels. I'm going to put a layer of insulated corrugated plastic in between the panel and the ceiling, just to protect it a bit. I have read that sometimes the heat from the aluminum skin can end up damaging the panel. So by putting some plastic in between the panel and the roof, I should be okay. So it's this stuff here, that corrugated plastic. And I've got to mount those, get that up. I'm not in any hurry other than getting the screws or the holes in the ceiling to mount this port. And once I have that port done, then I can fold both sides of the ceiling skin down and then put on my makeshift flanges here. Everything's going to be painted, so I'm not too worried about what it's going to look like. And then the J-rail goes up. Oh, actually I got to do the front and the back. And it's going to be really close with the front and the back. But we're getting there. All right, my goal is this week to try to get the wrap on, which is the ceiling, the front, and the back skins. Okay, thanks.